Hello, listeners, and welcome to Four Weebs, That Anime Podcast. My name is Leah. I will be your host for the week. We're mainly just going to talk about some good anime and some bad anime that we watched. So if everyone else wants to introduce themselves.
My name's Liam, and cutting someone's hair doesn't get me hard.
Oh, right. Hi, my name's Becca. I completely forgot what they were watching until Liam just said hair, and I remembered what they watched.
Just be happy you didn't have to watch it.
It's been a really long day for me.
That's okay. Anyway, hi everybody. My name is Veda. I don't have a fun thing to say. Yeah.
Just
Hi.
say hello. Hello.
Why?
To get her to say that fridge joke you told me.
Oh yeah.
I want to hear a fridge joke.
Oh god.
It's not a good one. Liam told me to kill myself afterwards.
Holy shit.
Well, now I
To
wanna
be fair,
hear
I
it.
say that way more often than I should.
And to
It's
be
okay.
fair, it was it was
No,
it
I get it.
was literally 100%. Is your fridge running? Well, you better go
Oh.
catch it.
You did not.
I might tell you to kill yourself.
Becca.
He fell for it. That's why
No.
I killed myself. I know, right?
God.
I'm a dad, okay?
That's great.
I'm all your fathers.
Oh god.
It was
Anyway,
a really good start to the recording.
Do you want to tell us what animes we watched?
Yes.
I'll just tell you to die in Japanese.
Do you want
Shine.
Do you know how to say it, Liam?
Yeah, isn't it Shine?
I think so.
I was like, I
Filthy
actually
Frank
don't know.
taught me that.
Of course he did.
Filthy Frank said that's like the worst insult.
It's like
You just
really,
literally
it's really
tell him to
bad
go
to
die.
say, yeah.
'Cause,
Yep.
I try to be offensive, I guess.
Hey,
Anyways.
if you're learning from Filthy Frank, I mean...
Oh,
Yeah.
please. Go kill yourself. Drag queens have been saying that shit for years, and they've never actually meant for someone to kill themselves, so... Sorry.
So,
Is it dope?
I guess
Listeners,
we
if you're
should get
triggered.
into the episode.
Yes.
eh?
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about the good or the bad anime first this week?
Which
Talk about
one
the
do you
bad
want to
one
talk
first.
about? Oh god.
Yeah,
All
I guess
right.
let's
So
get
we're
it
talking
over
about the
with.
bad one first?
No.
Okay. So, it was
Ah.
Liam and Veda. And this week, they were watching Densai Bunri no Crime Edge, which is also known as the Severine Crime Edge. Alright, Mal, this is the description here. So, Himura Kiri is a seemingly ordinary boy with... Wow, boy. Boy.
Well, he is a
Boar's
boy.
right.
I mean, yeah. Ordinary boy with one slight problem. He is obsessed with cutting other people's hair.
That's an understatement.
One day he meets Iwai, the hair queen, who cannot cut her hair because of an inherited curse.
Oh my god.
Kiri
Mhm.
finds out that his scissor, Dansei Bunri no Crime Edge, is the only thing that can cut them, but little did he know that their meeting sparked the start of an old murder game to kill the, quote, hair queen using the cursed killing tools. The Killing Goods, which is what they're called. Can Kiri protect Iwai from the Killing Goods owners? Let the games begin.
This show sounds fucking ridiculous. I'm just gonna
It's-
say that right now.
It's so convoluted, though.
Hashtag too edgy for you.
Yeah.
Haha, I see what you did there.
It's so edgy in so many ways.
It tries to be edgy.
That's why they
True.
call it
That's
the
the
Crime
thing.
Edge.
The show, like right off the bat, the show just has so many different things it's trying to do, just crammed in there, and it's just a big hot mess.
Basically.
Oh.
Perfect way to describe it. Hot
And
mess.
it's pretty fan servicey in the fact that like the main girl character with the uncuttable hair is really, really moe.
She's like a loli.
And the way the main boy character is drawn is kind of weird. Like he's got kind of like a tiny head, like a weird haircut. And
I never noticed that.
Yeah, well, when he's wearing the jacket, the first thing I noticed is like his body looks way bigger than it should.
Yeah.
And of course, he's got white hair or
Oh.
silver hair.
So edgy.
He's
a
so special.
Yeah, junior
I'm
high school
special.
boy with silver hair.
Oh
And-
shit. There's gonna
Yeah.
be so many women on his dick.
Well,
Yeah. It might
May-
turn into a harem. I don't know.
Yeah, I
don't know. I
You
don't
can't
think
even tell
so.
where this show is going, though. It's
Yeah.
kind of ridiculous.
So and
Yeah.
it start like the first time the two meet, which is pretty much right after the show starts.
Like, the
they
first
kind of
2
just have a really
minutes.
creepy relationship.
It
He's
starts
just like,
okay,
your
no.
hair is so long.
But even
I'm
like
gonna spy
before
on you.
that, he gets off at the wrong stop So he just walks up to this mansion that these kids at his school were talking about. There's some like myth about a ghost with long hair, and he's like, so walk there. So the first like 2 minutes is just a shot of him walking around this mansion, holding a pair of scissors, and like, you know how you like cut the scissors, like just sort of absent-mindedly being like
snip, snip,
with the scissors. He's like sneaking around this house like this, and he's like saying things in his inner monologue that don't like, I just need to cut something or shit like that. And I'm just like, am I watching the right show, or have I stumbled upon some sort of weird serial killer thing? It was weird. And then like right after that, he meets the like main girl character, and she's this cute little moe lady.
How long is her hair?
It's very long.
It's like,
but she's short, so
it's like, well, yeah, maybe she's like 4 feet tall or something.
Yeah.
And the hair's like trailing on the floor, so maybe her hair's like 6 or 7 feet long.
Yeah.
That's pretty long.
And then,
I'm just gonna
spoiler
that.
alert. Well, okay, yeah, that's one annoying thing, is like they're hanging out for the first or the second time or something. I don't remember exactly what happens. Then she's like, you can try and cut my hair if you want.
That's like the first time.
That's weird.
And then she like opens this drawer that's like full of scissors. There must be like 30 pairs of scissors in it, and she's like, none of these work. And he's like, I'll try these anyways. And he tries like a bunch of different scissors, and none of them work. And it's like, why doesn't he just use his like special scissors?
Because
they have to build up to it.
That's what I was gonna say, because then there would be no anticipation.
But like, he doesn't even think about it. It just makes no sense.
But like, that's the thing. 2
like,
seconds
you think
earlier,
he'd try those ones first?
He had just shown them to her as well. He was like, these are my scissors. And she was like, you can cut my hair. So he's like, okay. And then he goes and grabs the other scissors while he still has his.
What if the entire curse is negated by her telling him that he's allowed to cut her hair? Like, what if that's the cure?
I guess they have to demonstrate that regular scissors don't work, but then, spoiler alert, his scissors actually work. Oh my god.
Yeah, well.
Does her hair change to a different color, like in Tangled?
No.
I love that movie. Good movie.
It does grow back every night, though.
That's creepy.
But what I found funny is when he does cut her hair, he gives her like the same haircut that he has.
Yeah,
it's like almost the same. At least the first day. It's slightly different on the second day, I guess.
Yeah, he just cuts it short.
Yeah,
and then they make this whole big deal about him being like really odd. Like, he loves cutting hair so much. He's like, it's like his fetish.
But the only person's hair you ever see him cut is hers.
Yeah, so and he does it horribly.
How uncomfortable is it when he cuts her hair? Like,
we'll get into the uncomfortable part later.
It's so
tell me
boy,
now.
I'm excited.
Oh god. Sorry.
The anticipation is building.
Yeah.
I don't know what else. Yeah.
Tell me about other things. How sweet is her new haircut?
Not at all.
It's pretty average, I guess. Okay, so another thing generic. That bugged me. I don't care much about talking about the plot, just the things that bug me. So he's like, oh, your hair's short now. You can go back to school. You don't have to stay as a shut-in anymore.
Yeah.
And there's some other stuff that happens in between that and the school, which I'll get into later. But at one point they explain that she... Oh, what was it? She like dropped out of school in elementary school because her mom did something and her dad died and her hair was super long and no one can cut it, and it was just a really lame explanation. But then
every time they tried to explain anything, it was terrible.
And then her hair's cut again. It's like, oh, you can come back to school with me. So she just like joins his specific junior high school class, and it's like, but isn't she like years behind in school? Because like everyone's making a comment, like whispering under their breath when she's there, like, oh my gosh, she's using an elementary school backpack.
They like kind of laugh at her, but then they're all like, oh, but she's so cute.
Maybe she's
and her hair is so pretty.
Maybe she's just super into junior high fashion. Or elementary fashion. Whatever, same difference.
I gotcha.
Hello Kitty all the way.
Yeah, maybe that's her thing. I don't know. It was still weird that she just sort of like the first thing they give, they're like, oh, you haven't been in school for like 10 years. How about you just go into junior high? That's a good place to start.
Naturally.
Well, gotta start somewhere.
Obviously. Yeah. Most of my comments were being like, "I'm so uncomfortable right now. This, what is this doing?"
Yeah, before we get to the part that make me like really uncomfortable, we'll just talk a bit about the random girl with the syringe and her sister.
Okay.
So they show up in the first episode, right?
Yeah, they do. They're, I think, yes. Oh fuck, I don't remember.
So yeah, I get
it took
we gotta
so long.
we kind of have to explain a bit of the lore. So basically, the pair of scissors he has belong to an ancestor of his that was like a serial killer who like would bring people down to his basement and like brutally mutilate them with his scissors.
That was the thing I was wondering about, though. He has a pair of like sheared scissors that you would specifically use for cutting hair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The ones that have like the little bars on top.
Yeah, I'm like, that's not a very effective murder weapon.
I was like, how are you gonna cut someone's flesh with searing scissors? Like, does that even work?
Hey, if you want to kill someone with scissors, you can figure it out.
Yeah, true.
It would take you so long. It's so ineffective.
Maybe that's part of the point, is that it takes longer than you'd expect.
Well, yeah, good for him for actually
So they come up with this like really badly explained lore of like, oh, you're an author and like the scissors will eventually control you and force you to kill people only if like you have some form of release that'll keep you sane. So his form of release is like cutting her hair every day keeps him sane. And they run into this other pair, this girl who also has silver hair. She has like this old syringe that belonged to like an ancestor of hers that was like a field medic in the military that like killed 2 people or something.
She like injected a bunch of people with stuff, but only 2 people died. I don't know. It was weird. It was really badly explained.
Yeah, and the artifacts that they have are like indestructible. So the scissors are indestructible and the needle's indestructible. And there's one part where they get into a conflict and they have like a sword fight, but he's got like a pair of scissors and she's got this syringe, and it's so dumb.
Are they
try
regular?
to make it really edgy too. They're like,
there's like
everything
blood
goes
gushing.
red.
Are these regular sized items though? It's not like they're super sized.
They're regular sized.
Oh
like
my
a little syringe.
I want to go watch that scene.
Don't.
It's not
and
worth
then,
it. It's badly directed as well, so you can't even tell what's going on half the time.
Yeah, like there's a part when he stabs her and there's a bunch of blood, and I'm like, did he just kill her? But then like, she was totally fine, and he just like cut her hand.
I had no idea
and it was
what
really
had happened.
Unclear.
Yeah. Anyway, keep going.
And what the girl with the syringe, her like form of release to keep her sane is to like fill up the needle with some just like harmless saline or something, and like inject her sister in the arm, and then like erotically lick the injection wounds.
There was like they set up this whole scene so like the syringe girl and the scissor guy have a fight, and then so she injects him with some stuff, and then like a bunch of stuff happens. Anyway, he wakes up in like a hospital, I guess, and they show it. They like show his face, and then they show like the syringe girl's face, and she's like blushing, and then they show her sister and she's like blushing, and you're like, hey, what's going on? And then they show like the sister like taking the needle, like, or no, the syringe girl taking the needle out of her sister's arm and then like licking the little needle wounds like seductively, and then the other sister's like got her tongue out like that, and they're like kind of moaning, and you're just like, what am I watching?
And there's a shot like that in the opening sequence, by the way.
I missed it.
If you could see, my mouth is like hanging agape, and I'm just really happy I didn't have to watch
I actually had to like stop watching for like a minute and go do something else, because I was like, I can't even process what I'm watching right now. This is too ridiculous. I don't.
Yeah, well, just wait till I explain the creepiest part of the show, but I want to save that till the very end.
Fair.
I guess we'll also talk about, in the third episode, they introduce another person who has one of these artifacts, but this guy's like a big, beefy dude from prison, and he's got this big sledgehammer. So that's his thing. He hammers things because some ancestor of his also killed things with this immortal hammer thing.
It's just like they picked random objects, and they're like, that's a possessed whatever they called them, I can't remember.
Yeah.
The descriptions reminded me of Ranima 1/2. Does that make any sense?
I haven't seen Ranima
seen
1/2,
Okay.
but I know a little bit what
Didn't
it's
we
about.
watch
Yeah.
like an episode of that or something?
Yeah,
at
when
your
we did,
house,
like-
Becca.
When we did like our girls anime night, I brought it and we watched a couple
Yeah.
episodes, and it was ridiculous. But like
I've
the
heard
part,
of it.
yeah, the part that's like really
too.
collecting is like the oddball. Like they have really oddball weapons from their characters, whereas Ranima 1/2
See-
they turn into like random animals. I don't
But-
know. I've had a really long day.
It's okay. The difference with this one is they try to play it like so serious.
Yeah,
Like it's like some really dramatic thing that happened in the past. Like, oh, this is connected to a bunch of people dying and it's horrifying and you should be afraid of these items and these people and shit. And you're just like, I don't care.
Yeah, so when the when the little boy or the like 15, 16-year-old boy is getting into a fight with the guy with the hammer, it's like literally a dramatic fight where he's like moving super fast with this pair of scissors, dodging
just-
these hammer blows.
Yeah,
He's
he got
these
like
scissors
suddenly
make
really
me
good.
He's like, these scissors make me really fast. And I'm like, oh dude, sick.
It doesn't make any sense. All of a sudden, he was just really good at fighting, and it's like, dude, rock beats scissors. This shouldn't be happening.
I
You
didn't
should
think of
be
it that
dead.
way. Good
He
explanation.
should have been a pancake on the floor, but he was like, I have super speed. Oh, watching this man swing his hammer is like watching a child flail around, and I was like, oh my god, he's trying so hard
Yeah,
to
it was
make this kid cool.
way too edgy for me.
Okay, I just
yeah.
I just looked it up quickly on my anime list. Is the main character supposed to look like he's 12?
What?
I thought he
No.
looked pretty derpy, but he's supposed to be like a junior high school boy. I couldn't find an actual age for him.
No,
But
it's
the-
true. Like, because I know like Mal's picture, he looks really younger, and then like I went and,
Yeah.
Google imaged him, and he does look a little older. Though.
Okay.
It looks like in some of the actual like screenshots and stuff.
He doesn't look super old though.
Not old.
No.
He doesn't look like he's like
Like
you know,
junior high.
10.
Accurate.
So,
I'm looking at Google now.
Let's
Mhm.
talk about the elephant in the room, Veda, the bath scene.
Oh god.
Oh,
Okay.
gosh.
no.
Can I talk
This
about
is
the
the
scene when they're
scene-
first like hanging out first?
Yeah, actually, that's good.
Just-
This
was just-
scene
Way
prompted
to
me
just
to.
dangle that in front of us.
This
Oh, I know.
scene prompted me to
That's
look
weird.
up how old each character was.
Yeah, you
girl-
can tell me.
The girl is 14,
Is she really?
so it could have
Does
been
not
worse.
look like she would be.
I
It
would've
looks
guessed,
like,
like,
she's
10.
10, but yeah,
Yeah.
she's just
No
a petite
way.
little lolly girl.
Oh god. Anyway,
She's just so tiny.
So- reeling back to the first episode, when he first meets her, she like invites him into the house, right? And then they're sitting there, and he's going on about his hair fetish, and he's like getting
So,
weirdly
what are your
close to her.
hobbies?
Ruh-roh.
Yeah. And so then she's like sitting there just kind of being like, whatever. So then he kind of like starts to pet her hair all weirdly, and he's just like sitting there grabbing her hair, and I'm just like, the more I watch this, the more uncomfortable I become, because at that point you still don't have any idea how old she is,
Mhm.
and there's just like this junior high aged boy barging into her house with a pair of scissors being like, I love cutting hair, your
Oh
hair
my
is
God.
beautiful, and then he like smells her head and like pets it, and they're both like blushing, and I'm just like, this is really creepy. And then at one point she's kind of like, stop it, and he keeps doing it, and I'm like, this is really creepy.
Oh my god, I just realized he
Hmm.
reminds me of that one character off Charlie's Angels.
I
The
haven't
one that like
seen-
loves Drew Barrymore and like always like rips off their hair and then like smells
Oh,
it after. Does
Barely
no one
remember
know
that
that?
movie.
Has no one else seen Charlie's
No,
Angels?
I've seen it
haven't.
a really long time ago.
Oh, fine.
It's
Wasted
kind of like that.
Sorry.
But yeah, that was like the first. And that happens like maybe 3 or 4 minutes into the show. So you're just like, this is our intro to our main character, creepy hair fetish man. All right, and it
It
just
was like 15.
yeah, and like
you-
we have no idea how old she is.
Do you think they're trying to like profit off of the weirdness of Edward Scissorhands?
I don't
If
think
they
so.
are, they're doing a really bad job.
Yeah.
Okay.
It has none of like the quirky charm that Edward Scissorhands does. It's sort of
Hmm.
weird and convoluted and
Some
bad.
call
Well, I
it
mean,
quirky charm, some call it
it is-
weird.
Japan, and I'm sure there's fetishes everywhere. I mean, there is everywhere in the world, but Japan always has a way of advertising them.
I can see
Yeah.
hair fetishes. It seems
Yeah,
odd.
it's an odd thing to center
Yeah.
on.
There's a lot of plot holes that I could keep getting into. But
True.
so probably the worst part though is like she goes to have a bath and put her pajamas on, and it gets
He ends up staying over at her house.
Of course.
to protect her from the hammer man.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, it gets way creepier than it needs to be, and then the power goes off, so she like immediately jumps out of the tub and like goes to like cower in his arms while she's like wet and naked, and he's like, dude.
He's like, out, dude. And she's like, just don't look down.
There are like really unnecessary shots of this girl's butt too.
Yeah.
Would it be better if he broke out with a nosebleed or something, so at least it was comedic?
No, they try to pull the scene off as like
dramatic.
Yeah.
That's why they need to add the nosebleed. So
no, they're trying to be edgy, Becca. If they added a nosebleed, it would ruin the tone.
Okay, I'm just getting really confused because the tone sounds silly as shit, but you're telling me it's supposed to be serious.
It is. That's the problem with this show. The tonal, like there is no tone. It'll go from some sort of weird dipsy shit where they're just like hanging out in a salon, and then all of a sudden they'll be like, oh, serial killers and people dying and it's bad, and you're like, what? All the colors go red for some reason. It makes no sense, and I have no idea how I'm supposed to feel while watching this show. It's weird. Other than uncomfortable.
I just imagine you watching it and just like pressing pause and being like, I have to go not be uncomfortable for a minute, just like leave your room and never come back.
I had to pause it on multiple times to just sit there and be like, to like reevaluate my life.
Well, I'm happy that my comeback for making anime succeeded.
Yeah, also, I have a really weird question about one part in this show. After the whole bath scene, like, oh yeah, and then at that point her hair grows again, and so then it covers her body, sort of. I don't know.
Yeah, every night at midnight her hair just goes and goes back to its long length.
Like magic.
Yeah, and then after a minute of her, like, kind of hugging him, wet and naked. And then he starts stroking her hair sensually and like breathing heavy, and he's like, oh, can I cut your hair? And then she's like, hentai, calling him a pervert, and like runs away
and goes away. Yeah,
because you're not the one who ran at him naked or anything.
Yeah, I know. It was,
it was
so stupid.
I watched that and I was like, oh lordy, that got me hot and bothered.
Did she, like, when the hammer guy showed up, he like buzzed a hole through the wall and neither of them heard it? All of a sudden he was
broke
just
into
in
the house with his hammer, like literally smashing a hole in the wall, and neither of them noticed.
There wasn't even a sound effect for it so that the audience could hear it. It was just like, and there's a hole.
How did he get in?
Yeah, right. So then, like, she's being scared and cowering or whatever. Did she, like, pee herself? I was really confused by that scene. Do you remember that?
Which part?
There's a part where she's like cowering on the ground, and he like goes over to her, and there's just like a puddle underneath of her, and he like sticks his hand in it.
I assumed that was like just her being wet from the bath.
Okay,
I hope that's what it was.
I like the idea of her peeing herself better, though. You don't see that very often.
True.
No, not really.
I feel like it would add to the terrified tone.
Yeah, I was just really confused when I saw it, so a lot of this show is just confusing. Oh.
It sounds like a great time.
Yeah, it was great.
That's all there's a lot more I could complain about, but let's stop wasting our time on this.
Yeah.
Are you gonna watch any more?
No, I'm way too uncomfortable to watch anymore, and like everything about it was bad. Like the animation wasn't good. It was sort of bland, and there wasn't a lot of motion. They didn't set up anything properly. Like they tried to do all the world and rules, like where they have the weird tools that everyone has that are possessed by some sort of thing. But they don't explain anything. They just sort of throw all this exposition in your face, and they're like, yeah, understand this. And then they just start throwing weird plot points at you. And you're like, okay, stop. I don't know what's happening. And then on top of that, you don't know what's happening with all the writing, because the writing is so bad, and then the direction is also really bad. because you have no idea what you're looking at half the time because they'll like change the colors for some reason and then you can't see because they'll obscure a shot in a weird way and it's just bad. I did not like it. No, I'm not gonna keep watching anymore.
I'm almost tempted to like look up to see what happens in later episodes, but
Just
It's
like Wikipedia it.
It's only
Yeah.
12 episodes, I think.
Yeah,
I'm
I think
looking
it's
at now.
13.
Yeah, it's short.
Yeah, it is.
If you want to torture yourself for 4 hours,
Just do it.
Maybe if I
Good.
was really drunk.
do it for the lols.
Maybe
You
if
can
I
do it
was
at a
really
party.
drunk. Is that what you said, Maida?
Yes.
I'll take that.
something
There
for
you
a
go.
party.
Challenge
sometime.
accepted.
Mm-hmm.
Wunderbar.
What about
I'm glad it was
William?
you guys and not me.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Yeah.
All right. Are we ready
Thanks,
to get
Leah.
to the good one? Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, thanks.
As always, my pleasure.
Leah's just the reigning champ of the worst anime ever.
I just have a way
Basically.
of finding them. And then I always manage to avoid watching my own bad anime picks, so that's good.
Yeah. Champ.
Suspicious, if you ask me.
It's okay. I'm not sure. Well, what did we watch, Leah?
We watched Ghost Hunt.
Ooh,
So-
spoopy.
It is around Halloween time, listeners.
Almost.
That's
Oh,
close.
I went to Bath and Body Works today and bought a Halloween scented candle.
What
so
does
pumped.
What does
Halloween
Halloween
smell
smell like?
It smells like
Jinx.
cinnamon and cloves and candle. I'm ready to light that fucker on
And
fire
candle.
and just
Do
like
it.
Smells
let it
like
go.
candle.
Yeah, I have a
Maxi.
spot to put candles now, so I buy candles.
It doesn't feel like, lost souls in the depths of,
This is Bath and Body Works. They don't have that much edge.
Come on. You gotta go to Hot Topic for that?
Probably.
Oh, yeah.
It's practically across the hallway though, so
Oh god.
It's rivals. Alright, so, Ghost Hunt. Alright, so while at school, Taniyama Mai and her friends like to exchange ghost stories. During one of these stories, they are interrupted by a mysterious male figure. This person turns out to be Shibuya Kazuya, a 17-year-old who is a president of the Shibuya Psychic Research Company. He was called by their principal to investigate the stories surrounding the abandoned school building on their campus that is the center of many of these scary tales. The next day on the way to school, Mai passes the building in question, where she sees a camera inside, goes inside to look around basically, and gets surprised by Kazuya's assistant. Unknowingly interfering with an investigation, she breaks the camera and Kazuya's assistant gets injured. As such, she is now forced to play the role of the new assistant and learn about the paranormal world and the profession of ghost hunting.
oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Alright, so I know Becca and I both watched the first episode as a dub,
Yes.
and
Which
there are
I'm
many things to be said.
I'm so happy we coordinated without actually coordinating.
I know, it was great.
Oh boy. Do you want to
Because
be
honestly,
Yeah.
first impression, it will basically be that, but I guess the first impression is the opening scene. I like it, but think it's boring at the same time.
Yeah.
It's like
it kind of has like a real ghost hunters vibe.
yeah, it's got like a really almost like 90s horror mystery movie soundtrack playing.
Yeah.
And then it's just like
Yes.
these like lights like coming towards you.
Yes, its intro. I hated it. Well, I didn't hate its intro, but I was like, "What the fuck am I watching? Anime? Not this. Not likely with this fucking piece of crap. Not good."
It's like it's not good, but at the same time it gets the desired effect where you kind of there's just
Yeah.
this build up happening, but then they never really do anything with it. Like
Well, it's like spooky
I don't know.
Halloween music. Like it reminded me a lot of
Mhm.
Hocus Pocus. That soundtrack.
yeah,
Oh,
that's what I was trying
Yeah.
to say by like horror mystery 90s
Yeah,
kind
exactly.
of vibe. Like
But friendly.
I like I
Like-
appreciated the like kind of like
tone they were going for.
genre they may be trying to enter, but I think they could have
Mm.
put more effort into the visuals.
Yes,
Like,
I completely agree.
Yeah, I appreciated the music. Visuals were lacking.
Fair point.
Other than that, I don't have
Mhm.
much to say until we launch into the whole
Okay.
voice acting thing.
Yeah, so my initial thoughts, I enjoyed watching the 3 episodes. I got through them really easy. It wasn't like I was watching the clock.
Yeah,
But
me
I
too.
don't really feel like I want to watch any more. Like,
Just cutting right to the end there, Becca.
Spoilers.
I'm sorry, but
no, yeah.
it's hard to say because I'm like it's not as good as I wanted it to be, and that's about where it's at right now. I don't know. Yeah. So let's get into it.
I was gonna say, I feel like there's potential, but we'll get into it. The conversation will kind of unfold.
Yes.
Well, I know I was saying this to you guys before, but basically my first thing I really noticed, having watching it the English dub in the first episode, is that it was Funimation just vomited all over this anime, and they're like, how many of our popular voice actors can we get?
Funimation only has 5 voice
I know.
actors.
Well, that's who they hired.
The main character is Todd Haberkorn, which you know, love him and everything, but he is so wrong for this character.
Isn't the character more like a serious?
Yeah, he's supposed to be serious, manly.
I thought he was trying to do his best serious voice, though.
I think he was, but the problem was I just kept wanting him to turn into Watanuki.
Oh, yeah.
That it just bothered the shit out of me.
Yeah,
because I just kept hearing Watanuki. And then what was worse is then you have the voice actress who plays Yuko in Holic as well, who comes into the episode, and I'm just like, am I watching Holic right now? I'm just this is really weird. And then, just everyone in that anime, you just know who you've heard them before, and it's just really weird.
Is Vic Mignogna there?
No. That's the only he was missing.
I'm shocked.
Mm-hmm. But I know there's one character I know Becca's really gonna want to mention.
I want to talk about my favorite voice actor. Okay,
I saved that one for you.
So I need to triple check his name. Let me just check really quickly. So throughout the whole entire setup is that Maya is a high school student. She gets dragged into this whole thing. The first 3 episodes, it's basically all these ghost hunters investigating this old part of their school that the principal is hoping to change into a functional part of the school. And there's Kazuya, who is he's a priest of some sort. Then they bring in a Catholic priest, a Shinto priestess, a monk, and then another girl. So many people, so many different groups that just all get called in. Anyway, the Catholic priest that comes in to do an exorcism is named John Brown. And he's from Australia.
John Brown?
Yes, he's from Australia.
Oh god.
So
I can see it coming.
The very first words out of his mouth are, "Hello, mates!" And I was like, fuck my life, this is great.
And it's the worst Australian accent.
Yes.
Ever.
Oh no.
Really over the top, completely ridiculous. So
does he say down under?
I can't even
Actually,
remember.
think he does.
He probably
does. Say throw
shrimp
some
on the
shrimp on the
Barbie?
Barbie?
No, sadly not.
But
Come on.
pretty much every other Australian stereotype you could think of, he kind of fulfills.
Yeah, and the only thing I didn't go and double check was because I never watched the sub of the first episode, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they say he's Australian in the sub, or if that's just something
they
they did in the dub.
They do have him listed as an Australian on the wiki for the characters.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So, he's the Caucasian dude, he comes in, and, it's just so ridiculous, because everyone else is speaking in nice, calm English tones, and then him, "Hello, mates!" And
it's
so jarring.
So bad. I
really
actually
bad.
laughed out loud. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, it was so, well, I was like,
I want to
holy
hear this.
shit, did they just low budget this entire dub? It wasn't great. That's my big voice acting
that's the
thing.
thing, because it's Funimation obviously does do a lot of good dubs. I mean, it's Funimation.
Mm-hmm.
But this one, I know a lot of the voice actors in this show, and I know how good they are, and I just feel really
I wonder,
weirded out.
I wonder if it has to do kind of with the type of show it is, though.
It could be.
Like I said, I really enjoyed watching the 3 episodes,
mm-hmm.
but at the same time, I was like, I wonder if this is what it's all going to be like the whole time.
I agree. I think that's the thing that I noticed is not to also cut to the end here, basically, but you really enjoy everything, but then if that's all it gets to, then you feel satisfied with the first 3 episodes.
Yeah, and that's all you really need. And
the first 3 episodes are all one arc. It's all them trying to solve the mystery of the poltergeist in that abandoned school building.
Yeah.
So, you
kind
of get a beginning and an end.
And I should come back and explain, like, is this what it's going to be like? When I say this, I mean, like, so the animation is pretty, like, mid-range budget. Like, it's not
Not bad,
horrible,
it's not great.
but it reminds me a lot of, like, watching Yu-Gi-Oh! Actually, the first season, where everybody's eyes are different. Everybody's kind of, like, stereotypically anime style. It just felt very anime, like...
I agree, but at
like
the same time, I
2000s
didn't feel like, oh my god, what a stereotype either.
Yeah,
you just kind of like don't think much of it.
2000s anime is probably the best way to phrase it, Beta, where it's like everything looks all right.
It's kind of flat though.
Yeah, it doesn't look as like it, and I think that this show could have really lent itself to like looking really realistic and really cool.
Right.
But it doesn't quite go that far. Like I said, it really felt like watching, like, Mai looks a lot like one of the characters from Yu-Gi-Oh! And, like, she's got big giant eyes, and then, like, Kazuya has these tiny, like suspicious guy eyes, and I don't know, that was the part that really stood out to me, was that it kind of felt like they threw 7 different animators in a room and told them to make something together, but to not actually look at each other's work until they were done. And then just, like, superimpose all the characters together. So everyone's kind of the same, but not really.
Like, they don't mesh together?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think...
It's
I get what you're trying to say, but I also don't think it's as bad as it sounds either.
No, and I'm probably making it sound really bad. Like, they mesh a little bit. They just don't mesh as much as I want them to. Like, it just... There's something about the animation that I was just like, I feel like with a bit more money, they could have done something a little nicer. And that comes back to, like, the introduction and everything, too. Where the introduction is just, like, flashy lights in a song and captions, so...
Well, I wonder if they were low budget. They might have been.
It might have been, yeah. I'm looking quickly at, like, Wikipedia. Apparently this is based on a light novel, so that might be part of it. I'm trying to find... I don't think it says what the budget is on Wikipedia. But, like, it wasn't necessarily bad, it just was lacking in some spaces, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Kind of underwhelming, maybe?
Yeah. Can we talk about...
I think it has the potential to get better, though.
I do, too, yeah, and that's where I'm like, maybe I want to watch a couple more episodes and see what happens. Can we talk about Mai and Kazuya's sexual chemistry for a second?
Yes.
Did you feel like there was no sexual chemistry except, like, the forced chemistry that was put in?
Yeah, like you totally get the vibe of, obviously she's got a crush on him.
Yeah.
But even then, again, I feel like the chemistry's not real. Like, it's very, like, oh, well, they're the 2 main characters, therefore...
They obviously have to get together.
It obviously has to work out. But, I mean, again, I think just due to the nature of his character, I could see that getting... better, because he probably, like, opens up and you learn more about his past and blah, blah.
Then you fall in love with him because his past is so tragic and
dark and handsome. Yeah.
You just want to cuddle him and make him feel better, but at the same time hate him.
Yeah.
That was kind of, I don't know, I felt like they kind of forced it in a little bit. Like, all of her friends were like, oh my god, look how hot he is. And she's like, meh,
what
whatever.
A jerk. Blah, blah, blah. But secretly I'm in love with him.
Here? Yeah, and then the other 2 episodes, it's like, oh my gosh, he looked at me and smiled. Blush, blush, blush. And I was like, this feels a little too, not right.
One thing I will say I do like about him, though, is... So the nickname they have for him is Naru, for, like, the narcissist.
Yeah.
And he's so blatantly a narcissist, but he knows it, and that's what makes it hilarious. Like, he shoots down this one woman in the 3rd episode, and he's like, basically, like, no thanks, I've gotten too used to, like, looking in the mirror, basically.
Like, we'd make a really good pair, not too used to looking in the mirror.
Yeah.
He loves himself too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fun.
I enjoy that.
I thought it was really funny when she decided to call him Naru the narcissist, and he's like, why are you calling me Naru? And she's like, oh shit, did I say that out loud?
Yeah.
That's like something
But then
he does.
he preludes to that he might have been called that before, but in, like, a serious way, not, like, a goofy way.
Well, then she keeps calling him Naru, like, straight to his face, and he keeps responding and never mentions it again. Which is curious, kind of. But, yeah. I don't know. What do you think of, like, the big twist about the big haunting at the end?
I don't think it was a twist. I called it from, like, the beginning.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that to sound like, oh, go me. Just, no, like, I actually, like, just kind of put that together.
No, I totally got the same vibe.
Yeah, there's this, like, this classmate of Mai's. She's really fucking obnoxious.
Attention-seeking biatch.
Yeah, basically.
Kind
Who's
of.
all like, I'm a psychic, and or like, I can sense spirits, and like, you three girls need to stop telling ghost stories because then, it just causes me trouble because you bring around spirits and blah blah blah. Anyway, and I guess she's been like that ever since like junior high, so she just says stuff like that to get attention. Like, part of you feels bad because you're like, oh, you're just doing this all for attention because you don't have any friends. But then she's just a giant bitch.
Yeah.
So, like,
No,
it's one
like,
of those things where it's not even like she's a bitch because she's been like socially neglected. Her personality just sucks.
It's almost like she goes out of her way to not be friendly and to like consistently be like, no, you're wrong, and kind of obnoxious about it, and I didn't like her very much.
Yeah, so the big quote unquote twist at the end is that building wasn't actually haunted by like a spirit or a poltergeist. It's that like bitchy girl is basically like a psychic and kind of has like telekinesis, and like her like repressed like emotions and like cravings for attention were making all of her like spirit predictions come true, basically.
Yeah.
So she was making it appear like the place was haunted, but it wasn't. It was just her like unconsciousness making things happen in the building. So she has powers, but it's not like, it wasn't spirits. That was making the problem.
See, I agree. From the very first episode, I was like, I bet that chick has something to do with everything. But I really expected it to be like she was making it up and like doing stuff to make it look like spirits were happening. The whole like
I thought that too.
Came like way out of left field for me. I was like,
that to me, I wasn't expecting her to have a power. I was expecting it to be the whole like, maybe she saw a spirit once when she was young and decided to use that for attention, and then it never happened again, and she was trying to frame it and blah blah blah. But so that part was an actual like, we didn't really anticipate that.
Well, and I think that's the part that kind of turned me off, and because it just felt too like they were stretching too hard to make it work.
Yeah, because now she has like a reason to be in the group.
Yeah, that too, and I was like, it just doesn't feel quite right, and the explanation feels a little bit convoluted to me, where like, oh, she has psychic abilities with telekinesis, and she's doing this for attention, but like at the same time, nobody was really paying attention to her until the principal got somebody to come look at the building. And then she basically like inserted herself into the drama, so it felt really
she literally
forced.
Did. She literally showed up, but that said, that's kind of true to the kind of person she seems to be.
That's fair, yeah.
It
just like overall like storytelling wise, it felt a bit like nobody was like, oh, there goes that chick, like she's kind of weird before you actually have her introduced. It just it didn't feel quite right, and like I said, I think that's where it went a little bit off the rails for me, but. I just don't know. I'm like, this one's kind of a weird one.
I know it's weird because it's like you really enjoy it, and I would say I enjoyed it. But there are things about it that stop it from being like really really good.
Exactly.
But then I could see how, like, because I know Veda, you've watched this and really enjoyed it. I could see how it gets really good.
Better, yeah. Well, and that's exactly the vibe that I'm getting, where I'm like, for all the faults that are there, like, I wish the animation was a bit better, but whatever, that's fine. Even the weird twist at the end, if they start introducing that more into, like, the general setting of the story and, like, the world building, then I could get behind it and it would be okay.
Like, if this does turn into almost more of kind of like a holic kind of thing, I would be really into it.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
I think one of the other things too, and I'm kind of just thinking about this now, is I almost wonder if they should have condensed this whole little arc into 2 episodes instead of 3.
I kind of expected it to be just 2 episodes, and then when it wasn't, I was like, okay, well, let's go, I guess.
Because
I
feel
that's part of it.
Like I'm waiting, and I recognize all the potential that it has, and then I'm kind of like, but I've already watched 3 episodes. And, it is a 25 episode anime, though, so there is quite a bit of room to work with, so I don't know. I think I'll give it, like, another episode or 2.
Each, the entire show is consisted of, like, little mini arcs.
Okay.
So, like, each different place they're at will have, like, its own, like, 3 episode block. It's usually 3, sometimes it's 4.
Okay.
Which is fine, as long as more goes on than what did. And I'm sure it will.
Yeah.
They probably just try and keep it a little more straightforward for the first one and, find a way to get all the characters in. And you know what? Like, I think like sometimes, people can be really hard, like including us, hard on like animes and other TV shows and stuff too. Because I mean, it's like hard introducing characters properly
Most
and getting
definitely,
them
yeah.
all in there, in a nice, smooth way. Because it's a lot easier to come up with your characters and know where you want them all to end up, and then have to figure out like how am I going to introduce these guys and like make it not suck.
I was gonna say on the 12 episode versus 25 episode, just random thought I had, like the two animes I've recently finished were Cabaneri and Kisniver, and they were both 12, and after finishing both of them, I kind of felt that it would have been, well, especially Kisniver, it would have been better as a 25 episode anime.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Most of them
Cabaneri,
are.
probably like Cabaneri, I would say like maybe it would have been really good if it was like 14 or 18 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also recently finished Gurren Lagann, and that was like a really, really solid like 27 episodes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
I feel
Kill
like
la Kill was also really solid, as you all know I love that, and that was 25 episodes as well. So
See,
I feel like I think it's harder to do like a 12 episode anime almost.
yeah,
so
I
condensed.
agree.
Yeah, and I think like I prefer the condensed ones just because I like everything that's happening. Like, unless it's a character driven show in a 12 episode anime, I like that everything keeps moving and like the characters develop quickly, and then I get the story and I go.
But like,
I'm the opposite. Like, I prefer the longer ones, but that's usually because I do watch such like character-driven shows.
Yeah, and
like
that's-
most of my favorite anime are the like 25 to 50 episodes, even.
Yeah,
Well,
and
yeah,
I
I don't usually like more than 25. I was doing comic. There are ones that do it well, like Madoka Magica is 12 episodes, and that does it really well. But even with that, sometimes I feel like I would want a bit more. And, Death Parade was only 12 as well.
Madoka does end up having, like, when it's broken into the movies, there is a whole, like, third arc to the story, I guess. But
yeah, it's not very good, though.
Like, I don't mind when things are a little bit longer. I feel like if you have a longer series, you have room to fit a bit more story or to make it a bit more complex. And some of the stuff I've watched where it is 25 episodes, it's still a more basic story that could have been told in 12. And they just stretch it out so they can have, like, the beach episode and, like, that kind of stuff. And
it just totally depends, and, like, if you have a good outline for your story. Like, you guys were watching the first 2 episodes of Ray Zero. Okay, the second arc of that anime is a complete mess.
I've heard,
like, it's
the
a
second half gets
fucking mess. Like, it's not even weird, it's just a mess. And, like, they just completely, like, did all this awesome world building and had, like, this great potential for this awesome story that they were building properly.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, for the last arc, they're like, we're just gonna forget about all that. And we're just gonna go chase this giant whale for 15 episodes. And completely forget about, like, 3/4 of the cast we already introduced.
Yeah.
Because we just want to show you the cute maid girl.
Were they just, like,
That's
using it as a
literally it.
filler? Like, are they trying to catch up to the manga or something?
I don't know. I hope so. Because
That seems really weird.
like, they must be getting another season or something, because, or at least had initially planned they were, because there's no way, like, I have 1 episode left, I think, and it's doesn't have
There's
anything
nothing
to do with
resolved.
where the show started.
Yeah.
That is so
Like,
weird.
See, maybe
it's like, I'll keep watching it, and if season 2 comes out, I'll let you know how it is, and then you guys can just completely skip the second half of the first season, because it's so, like,
unless
it's
we like
just
the
so
cute
out of
maid
left
girl.
field.
See, I think it especially is, like, the whole 25 episode issue is exacerbated when they're trying to work off of a manga that isn't complete.
Yes.
I just wish that they would wait until the fucking manga's complete and then, like, buy up the rights as the manga's doing great, and then just give it that little bit more time. And, like, I'm really kind of butthurt about, now that I'm caught up on Attack on Titan, like, I'm butthurt for the people that did have to wait those 4 years. Like,
I did, man.
that's
I
so
did.
stupid. Same with, like, Inuyasha, where it went from, like, it could have been a 2 or 3 season show to, like, 6 fucking mind-numbing seasons. And I don't know, I'm starting to get, like, real opinionated on that whole thing.
Hunter
And-
Hunter did
Well, that's
really
why
well.
That's why Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is so good, because
Yeah.
they made it after the manga was done.
It was done,
But,
and
I mean-
they knew what, like, how many episodes they were gonna have, and they
Well,
just
that's like, there's a few different reasons it was good,
Mhm.
but that's
Yeah.
like,
I still have preference for the original Alchemist. I'm sorry.
yeah, the original
but-
one's still good. Well,
Yeah.
they did the right move. They didn't want to play catch up,
Yeah, so they just
or like
figured
they
out
didn't
their own
want to
thing,
play the
right?
waiting game, so they
Yeah,
decided
'cause,
to
I mean, like-
diverge into their own thing,
Yeah.
which was
is a
really
good move.
cool because, like, I do like Brotherhood better as a series, but
Mhm.
the original FMA still has like one of my favorite endings ever.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's so cool how they like end up in our world, and like The Conqueror of Shambhala is like such a good movie,
Mhm.
and
True.
like it's so I'm not going like, oh my god, Becca, like I don't blame you for liking the first one better. They're both really good.
Yeah, and I guess like Full Metal Alchemist is kind of its own special thing because both are really well done
Mhm.
in their own different ways. But I mean, like I said, I'm starting to get real irritated with this whole, oh, the manga's not done yet, but it doesn't matter. Animate it anyway. Like, fucking get it done.
No, I agree, and I think
Yeah.
it's like, I mean, I know it's probably easier said than done. Like, I feel like, a lot of animes don't know if they're going to get another season.
Yeah.
They don't
Yeah.
know how long it's going to be,
Mm-hmm.
and if they should, try and do it all themselves, or keep waiting for the manga, or,
That all comes back to the
Whatever,
planning
like-
your story out really well initially. Like you keep saying,
yeah.
if you have it planned out, you don't need to worry about having that second season for sure because you figure out how to do it in 25 episodes or 12
Mhm.
episodes or 50 episodes if need be, but you figure out how to do it initially before you start animating and you're paying all these people to draw and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel
Yeah,
like I
Well,
could-
that's like...
Was Code Geass 50-ish episodes, or was Yeah, it was 50,
yeah,
right?
because
Code Geass
they got
was
25
2
each,
seasons.
because there was Code Geass, and then there was Code Geass,
I'm not
But
saying
the-
it was
The
like,
thing with
Yeah.
Code Geass is it didn't have a manga. That was
Yeah.
an original idea.
well, yeah, that's just an example of one of those 50 episodes that was really solid. Like
Mhm.
it
Yeah.
it wasn't solid
Eureka
100% of the way through, but it was
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I still
Yeah.
finished it and really liked it. So. Well, what
Um,
about Eureka 7?
It's 50 episodes, and
Oh.
it's really good.
Mhm.
But I think
Um,
isn't Death Note the same length as well?
I don't know.
Sounds
I haven't
about-
I don't
finished.
know.
I can't remember.
One thing that I was going to tell you guys that I thought you might find interesting, and this kind of goes back to the beginning, we were talking about voice actors and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So I was at the Edmonton Comic Expo this last weekend,
Yeah.
Whoop, whoop.
and Vic Minogna was there.
Yeah.
So I went
Nice.
to his panel. It was fun. They're always good.
Mhm.
And he was saying, and this is actually quite interesting, I didn't know this, he said when dubbing really, really popular animes, so like Full Metal, Naruto, all those kinds of things,
Yeah.
I guess, so Funimation will do the casting call for the actors, like they'll grab the ones that, they like or want,
Yeah.
but it's actually the companies in Japan who get the final say.
That's
Actually?
interesting.
Yeah. Yeah,
Huh.
they get the final
Huh.
say of who they
Who
want,
gets-
basically.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so I guess they had Vic playing like Edward Elric for like the pilot episode and then the video game, but like because deadlines kept coming up, but the show
Yeah.
wasn't really being done yet. So they kept telling him like, oh, you don't have the part yet. You don't have the part yet. Like, you know what I mean? Until finally it was the head guys in Japan who said, no, like we want him.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just thought that was really interesting because, a lot of times we're really hard on dubs.
Yeah.
And I always
I was-
think dubs are so fucking obnoxious because let's face it, they don't always sound as good in English.
Yeah.
But I guess
Depends.
it's what a lot of the big guys in Japan want.
This means we can't blame Funimation anymore, doesn't it?
No, I mean, I don't think it's, for all the anime, but for
No.
a lot of the, like,
Yeah.
bigger stuff, the
high budget.
yeah,
Yeah.
the high budget ones, the, like,
All the
Japanese leads
popular
get the
stuff.
say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's kind
Yeah.
of cool though. Like it's nice to know that they get to keep their vision
Mhm.
as much as
Yeah.
we may or may not like it. They get to kind of like control their vision.
They
even-
have a say in the
exactly.
process.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I guess they wanted, like, because Edward in the sub is played by a girl.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But they
Park.
wanted a man, like, to play the English version.
Yeah.
Which made sense to me.
Cool.
I didn't know that the sub Edward was a girl, which makes sense why I probably didn't like the sub very much. It's like the one show that I actually prefer in English, but anyway, yeah. I thought you guys might find that interesting, and the listeners might find that interesting.
The more
Nice
you know.
costume, by the way.
You heard it here first.
Thank you.
Yeah. Leah was our little firefly.
Yeah, I went as Kaylee Fry from Firefly. Not
That's like
anime, but you know.
For you hardcore weebs, that's like live action Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah,
there you
actually,
go.
pretty much.
Yeah.
I didn't
Pretty
see the
much.
picture.
Oh, I'll
It's on
send
Instagram,
Instagram.
man.
Oh, I don't have Instagram.
Oh, you gotta get on it.
some.
Gotta do
No.
it. should
Anyway, we
have
went
full
on that
weeks
really
Instagram.
fun tangent about just general stuff, but
Yeah.
back to Ghost Hunt. I think
like
I'll
it.
give it another episode or two.
Yeah.
It's good. Like, I think for listeners, like, it's definitely worth watching. It's not the best thing we've seen, but I think it's, worth the try.
Yeah, it definitely, to me, like, it's a different kind of anime. Nobody was, okay, the dub was really obnoxious.
Yes, watch
But,
it in the sub.
The sub was not super obnoxious, and I think that's part of the reason why I'm kind of just, like, meh on it, because it seemed very, like, middling the whole way through, but that's not a bad thing. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if you need something chill to watch where there's not a lot of, like, high stakes, and you don't want somebody scream yelling at you to be dramatic,
But you also don't want to watch a slice of life either.
yeah, or, like, comedy, you want to get into, like, some supernatural and stuff, this would be a good option to check out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to necessarily write it off as I'm not going to watch it ever again. I think I need to get in the right mood for it. And who knows, I might sit down and watch, like, the rest of it tonight for some reason. But just
No, it's true, because even after I watched the third episode, I was like, I could keep going.
Yeah,
you know?
I had that exact same thought. I was
Yeah.
like, I could do one or two more. I'm going to wait. And
It's
here I am
just
now.
nice and light, but it's not like a total fluffed.
Yeah, exactly.
So your brain's
Yeah.
still like slightly preoccupied, but it's not like anything crazy. So
yeah,
so not bad.
that's how I feel about that. It was alright.
Oh, also, sorry, last story I have to tell you guys. My sisters, apparently years and years ago, my older sister saw like a ghost in her room, which is
Don't
the one
we
I'm
all?
sitting in right now, by the way. And
It's
then
gonna get
my other
you.
sister said she thought she saw one again, like the other night, like earlier in the week.
Yeah.
So I just got back from Edmonton or whatever the other night, and I'm going to watch this anime, and I'm like,
Oh,
well,
no.
fuck me. Like,
Aw.
I was like, I'm just hearing about all of these ghosts in the room next to me, and I want to watch an anime called fucking Ghost Hunt, and it's like 11:30 at night, so like I have to go to sleep after. And I was like, well, this is gonna be interesting.
Poor
All in the
choices were
spirit of
made.
Halloween.
Poor choices were made.
There was the zombies, nightmares last week. and
Yeah,
the ghosts
like
this week.
what is this?
Oh, we're gonna need some vampires or werewolves for
Spook
next
Central.
week.
Oh boy.
Hey. I've got perfect vampires.
Are there any werewolf
I'm just gonna be a
animes?
dick
I
and
don't
make
know.
everyone watch Vampire Night.
Oh god.
Well, I feel bad for not picking a Halloween themed, but
It's coming up, Liam.
I can tie it in somehow.
Yeah, let's do the marbles.
All right,
Marbles.
Marbly marbles. Where'd I set them? Over here. Marble draw first. Who wants to go first today?
Me.
Veda, you get a white marble.
Ooh.
Ooh. Who's next?
I'll go next.
All right, Leah, you are also a white marble.
You can
Liam?
go next, Becca.
All right, I got the red marble.
Ooh.
Oh
Oh,
boy.
neat.
Spooky.
Spooky.
Please don't pick Vampire Night.
Don't worry. Mine isn't super Halloween themed.
Okay, my
But,
teenage
well-
self loves Vampire Night. Okay,
I'm sorry.
until you
I
get into
didn't
the
watch it.
incestual shit, and then you're kind of like,
I
My-
didn't watch it when I was younger, so it just I cringe.
My adult self loves vampires in general, and like this is a dangerous age to say that after the fucking Twilight ruined them. So.
no, you just got to get back to like
Buffy,
the
man.
Interview of a
Vampires.
Vampire and
Yeah.
Buffy. And...
good vampires that
Yeah.
kill people and are happy about it.
Yay.
Okay,
I'm not
that's
All right,
cool.
Liam.
I'm gonna. I haven't watched anything with Veda for a while, so sorry, but
Ah.
2 bad
Oh
weeks
my
in a row.
gosh.
But it's okay. It's okay. Like I did last week. I hate to do this both times, but the good and the bad are both kind of good this week. But I got my reasons, so maybe
All right.
next time I'll pick something so abysmally bad it'll make up.
Let's
Dear
do
God.
this.
I'll just make you guys watch White Noise and be like, "This is my favorite anime."
Sleeping
anime.
with Hanoka.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Anyway,
god.
yeah,
no.
lay it on us.
Okay, so the theme for this week is non-fiction anime with some crazy shit that happens.
Are we gonna watch it?
I think I know where
Animes
this
about
is
Hitler?
going.
So the
Hitler.
bad
Oh
the
my
bad
God.
anime is Sakamoto desu ga,
Oh, I want
Oh,
to see that.
yeah.
which is in English, haven't you heard? I'm Sakamoto.
Mm.
Sophisticated.
My sister's
suave.
boyfriend really, really, really wanted us to watch this.
Okay.
Really?
Well, we're
stop
doing
fucking
it.
interrupting my synopsis then, so I
Sorry.
can talk about it.
Go.
Sophisticated, suave, sublime, all words which describe the exceedingly handsome and patently perfect Sakamoto. Though it's only his first day in high school, his attractiveness, intelligence, and charm already has the girls swooning and the guys fuming with jealousy. No one seems able to derail him, as all attempts at tripping him up are quickly foiled. His sang-froid is indomitable. I don't know what that means. His wits peerless. Will any of Sakamoto's classmates or even teachers be able to reach his levels of excellence? Probably not. But they just might learn a thing or two trying.
Ooh,
I guess you
So
can
is that the
relate this.
good or the like
That's
quote
the
unquote
bad.
bad.
The Scarlet
damn,
Boss
let's watch
is
that
fuck.
one.
I
have
like him.
I have seen the first episode of it, and I guess you can tie it into Halloween in the sense that like there's one shot specifically where it makes it seem like he's got supernatural powers. So there you go, Halloween tie-in.
Oh,
But it's
spooky.
should be pretty entertaining. So
Yeah.
the good anime is Nichiju or
Nichijou.
Nichijo, My Ordinary Life, which
I think
you
I've
might
looked
have
at
heard
this
of
one.
before. I guess my rationale in picking this is the good and the other one's the bad. So My Ordinary Life has an 8.52 on my anime list, which is high
It looks really
From-
funny.
from what we've seen before, and Sakamoto has a 7.68, which is kind of around the average one, but it is newer. This was a spring 2016 anime as well.
It's so cute.
So- My Ordinary Life really focuses on the daily antics of a trio of childhood friends. Oh, sorry, my computer just switched screens on me. Trio of childhood friends, high school girls, Miyu Naga Nohara, Yuko Aoi, and Mai Minakami, whose stories soon intertwine with the young genius Hakase Shinonome, her robot caretaker Nano, and their talking cat Sakamoto.
Hey!
Oh, coincidence?
There's the rebel.
There's the tie-in.
Yeah, that's the tie-in. Animes with people or animals named Sakamoto in them.
There you go.
With every passing day, the lives of these six, as well as the many people around them, experience both the calms of normal life and the insanity of the absurd. Walking to school, being bitten by a talking crow, spending time with friends, and watching the principal suplex a deer.
I've seen that.
I hate it when that happens. I think
Yeah,
I've
no.
seen that scene too. They're all in a day's work with the extraordinary everyday lives of those in Nichiju. So yeah, I guess the theme could be like school animes that get completely insane
Funny.
Or you
absurd.
just say,
Schools.
Liam, I didn't feel like having a theme.
No,
so
it
this
does
is
have a
what you're
theme. They're both
watching.
like shows about like kind of ordinary things, almost slice of
It's
life
true,
shows,
yeah.
but they have like pretty funny, absurd twists
outrageous
to them.
Yeah. Cool.
like it.
Should
Yeah.
be good.
Yeah, sounds fun.
So
I'm
me,
excited.
Leah and I are watching My Ordinary Life.
Yes.
Becca and Veda
Um,
are watching Sakamoto desu ga.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Hi.
Veda.
That's okay. I've wanted to watch this show, so I'm okay with
Yeah,
that.
it's not.
I heard
Okay.
it's supposed to be pretty funny. Like,
I've
yeah,
seen
my
the
same with
first
you,
sister's,
episode
Joe.
and it's pretty good.
my sister's boyfriend keeps asking, like, have you watched it yet? Have you watched it yet? And I'm like, yeah, we'll pick it one week. We'll pick it one week. And then I kept forgetting. So I'm glad
If you
someone
like,
else did it.
I
if you like handsome boys, then anime's for you.
I like boys
but
in
like
general.
one handsome boy specifically, 'cause there's like a lot of
That's alright.
sparkling.
Well, he looks
Hey,
pretty
I love
handsome.
sparkles and
Sparkles.
handsome anime boys.
Oh,
so there
it's
you go.
gonna be like watching Twilight.
No.
There you go.
Gonna be better.
A little bit of
Gross.
vampire in there for you.
Oh, I'm so
I was trying to
excited.
find a way to tie in JoJo's Bar Adventure, but I couldn't make it
Right.
work.
Eh.
Because
Well,
You'll
that's
figure
maybe
it
one
out
day.
one week.
too much handsome boy for one episode.
We'll get it in sometime.
Never too much handsome boy.
That's definitely one that JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is definitely one we have to get to in the near future.
Yep.
Mhm.
I suspect.
I'm not gonna reserve it for myself. One of you can pick it if you want.
How
I
sweet.
think I'm gonna have to rechange my thoughts now because I didn't think I would get to pick before Halloween. So
Ooh.
Pick the spoopy
Woo!
shows.
I'm going to. I'm gonna have to put my other idea off to the side for a while. One day, though. One day.
One day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, well, I think that's...
Do your plug, Becca.
Oh, yeah, social media plug. We're on Facebook, For Weebs, That Anime Podcast. We're on iTunes, For Weebs, That Anime Podcast. And we're on Podbean, For Weebs, That Anime Podcast.
And
Check
just
us
in
out.
case you
Ooh.
forgot our name, it's Four Weebs.
I want
that
to give a
podcast.
I'm gonna do it. Yeah, in case you don't know who you're listening to, I wanted to do a quick shout out to our anti-Trump screamer.
Oh,
Oh,
on our
yeah.
Facebook.
Oh no.
I'm so sorry. I need to look up your name really quickly. But holy Jesus Christ, man, I feel like we made it big time. Somebody bitching about Trump on our fucking page.
on a post about Ghost in the Shell
It
live
was
action.
Yeah.
your relative.
I feel like it's gonna have to be a discussion sometime about like our thoughts about racism and like yellowface and stuff like that.
Whitewash.
That's getting really
Yeah.
deep. Yeah.
But
Mhm.
shout out to Renal B. Oh my god, I saw your post and I nearly died. I hope you have a hobby or something. Because we're Canadian
wow.
and we're, well, speaking for
Yes.
myself, I
Don't
really
take that
am
the wrong way.
anti-Trump. Yeah, your thoughts are appreciated, but I'm pretty sure
But
we're
wow.
all anti-Trump. I
Not
don't
that
know.
Hillary is much better, but...
Good
Good luck in the
better.
States.
Let's not get
you
into
guys.
politics.
Good
Yeah.
luck.
No
Most
politics.
of our
Good luck
listeners
is-
are in the States.
Good luck is the best thing to say.
Happy it's not my election. Good luck, guys.
Oh, ouch.
Well,
It's okay.
sorry.
In 4 years, it'll be better.
Yes.
Think that now.
Well,
Funny,
I
I've
hope
been
it-
I've been
it
watching
works out.
House of Cards like the same time as this election stuff's
no.
going on, and it's entertaining,
Oh no.
but like depressing.
yeah.
Well, on that
Anyway.
happy note,
Good luck, America.
Thanks for listening.
thanks for
Vote
comments.
this.
More comments.
Vote Des. Don't vote for Trump.
Or do
God
what you
damn
really
it.
want to. Don't yell at
No.
us. It's not our fault.
Don't vote for Trump.
For Grump?
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't vote. No grump this 2016.
Excuse me. Is your refrigerator running?
Oh my god.
No.
Yes.
Well, then you better go catch it.
I said no.
You put your mouth really close to the microphone when you said that.
Pretty much it's right in there.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Hey, good night.